for coming tonight and for joining us here. I know it's a busy night here in Washington, but I'm especially grateful to my friend Senator John McCain for coming and joining us. It was my great privilege to serve as his Alabama state chairman. And
that's why we almost lost.
Went
everywhere.
We did wonderful in Alabama, and I was thinking it was a year ago, I guess tonight, that we delivered Alabama with a resounding show of support for your presidential campaign. And I couldn't have been any prouder to be associated with anybody than I was with you. And I thank you for your friendship, and I thank you for stopping by tonight.
Well, thank you, Troy, and thank you all for supporting a good and decent and fine public servant, a person who has proven his commitment not only to fighting crime, but his commitment to families in the state of Alabama. A person that I have admired for a long period of time. We got to know each other several years ago, and I am grateful for your chairmanship of my campaign. But most importantly, I look at Troy as the next generation of leadership of our Republican Party. I'm not running for president again, so I do spend a fair amount of time trying to encourage people of Troy's generation to continue to serve. I think we all know that attorneys generals can probably leave that job and have pretty lucrative income, but Troy has continued to serve and will continue, so I'm grateful to have the opportunity to be with him and help him in any way that I can. That includes, I hope, being able to return to Alabama and spend a little time there campaigning with you. Could I just say these are the most interesting times. Tonight we'll see the results of the New Jersey race, which I am told that unless a Republican has a 3 or 4 point lead, that the Democrat wins in New Jersey. but it's a lot of volatility there. The thing in New York, you're going to see the far right of our party say, well, that's what happens when you pick someone who's not conservative enough. It's what happens when you don't have a primary. They didn't have a primary, and the party bosses got behind closed doors and selected somebody that the mainstream of the people in upstate New York, which is a conservative area, didn't want. And I would also point out that McDonald, who will be elected overwhelmingly today, I campaigned with him a couple of times in Virginia, he moved to the center. He appealed to the independents in Virginia. So my view of the Republican Party is that we have to maintain our conservative principles and stick to them. And this is a proven example of that. But also we've got to reach out to the independent voter, which is the growing voter bloc, and attract them. McDonald would not have won the governorship tonight in Virginia if it hadn't have been for the significant shift of independence towards what he stood for. And by the way, he stands for the same things you stand for basically conservative values and principles and commitment to serve the state of Virginia, which is as we know, somewhat of a swing state. So I think you fit that category, Troy, and I'm very grateful that you will continue to serve and are willing to do so. I guess finally, this healthcare issue is, I haven't seen anything like this issue, but more importantly than that, I do a lot of town hall meetings back in Arizona, and I've done some around the country also. Mitch McConnell and I did some, and Cornyn and I have done some. And the only reason why I bring it up is because there's an anger out there and frustration, not in Washington where a lot of jobs have been created, but out there, I'll tell you, in Phoenix, Arizona on Central Avenue, where we have a real unemployment rate. Registered, it's 9.7% unemployment. We've got 17% real unemployment in my home state. And people are angry about the bailouts, they're angry about the bonuses on Wall Street, and they're angry that this stimulus has not got reached down to them and their families. We were on the crest of the wave in Arizona, so we fell harder on the housing issue. but we're not that much different from California and Nevada, Colorado, and other states out west that we've never seen economic conditions like this. I'm sure they're tough in Alabama as well. So I don't know what's going to happen politically. The people turn out for these tea parties, at town hall meetings I had over the last weekend on Friday and Saturday. People are mad. They are madder than I've seen them. I don't think that anger has been channeled yet. It certainly hasn't been reflected in Republican registration. I'd like to say that it has, but it hasn't. But it's been an increase in independent registration. So whoever can grab a hold of that wave, I think is going to be successful politically. And I don't know how that's all going to turn out, because we Republicans still haven't proven to our base that the way we spent money over the previous 8 years caused them to lose a lot of confidence in us. And the debts and the deficits were there before Obama was elected. Now, the president can't blame the Republicans forever. Coming up on a year, he's going to have to not use that anymore. But still, we haven't attracted the allegiance of these independent voters who are out there yet, and that'll be our job, and that'll be your job as a candidate. So these are the most interesting times. And finally, could I mention that the president's delay in making a decision on Afghanistan is really very upsetting. I'm not even angry anymore. We've got 68 young people who are over there in a deteriorating situation, and the president hasn't made the decision. And every day that we delay that decision, these young people are in harm's way. We all see their names listed in the newspaper, 19, 20, 21 years old. And the sooner we get the resources over there to protect them, or get out. If the president decides to get out, then fine. I'm not fine, but then at least I respect that. But to do nothing and drag this thing out for as long as we have is really something that I just don't understand it, because when your general in charge says the situation is deteriorating, you either make a decision to get out or a decision to fix it, not just say, we're going to have another meeting. And so, and one reason why I bring it up is because the Alabama Guard, every time I've gone to Afghanistan or Iraq, I have run into the Alabama Guard. I don't know if they're permanently based over there. But the C-130s, a lot of the units that are fighting over there, Alabama Guard and Reserve probably has as high or higher participation than any other state, and your job is going to be to command them. Thank you for supporting this brave young American. Glad to see you. And anything we can talk about that doesn't remind me of this night a year ago, I... Thanks a lot.